So guys, now that I've actually grown my business to the $14,000 per month mark using cold emails and Upwork, what I want to basically break down is Upwork versus cold emails and give you my honest opinion which one is better. Now I get this I like asked a lot, and people ask me, Montel, which one's better for actually getting clients, the Upwork or cold email? In my own honest opinion, and I don't want to kind of ruin the video, but I'm more leaning towards Upwork than cold emails. If you was to give me just one tool and you basically took all my clients away, took all my money away and stuff like that, and you put me up against somebody who's good at cold emails, and we use the same script on Upwork or a very, very, very similar script, it's almost identical, obviously the two platforms are slightly different, and you give me the same script, I'm telling you right now, I will 9 times out of 10 beat that person back from getting from 0 to 10K pretty much every single time, 9 times out of 10, unless you're like an absolute wizard with cold emails and you're sending like 600 a day or some craziness like that. You're just not beating me, and I'm only going to be sending like 15-20 proposals a day on Upwork. Now let me break down to you real quick what cold email is and what Upwork is and what it isn't and stuff like that, just real quick for you guys that don't know. So cold emails is obviously what it kind of sounds like on the tin. It's where you basically send an email over to a business or a company or somebody in general to try solicit a meeting. That would be or some sort of sale. I personally don't use email to actually try get sales. I try to get sales calls. So what I mean by that is whenever I send a cold email, I try to get them on a call after that to sell a service. I don't try to sell the service in the cold email. So that's a big distinction. On Upwork then, Upwork is a freelance account where you go and actually apply to jobs that clients have posted out. So these clients are actually taking it upon themselves to go to upwork.com, create a client account, and then post a job. By the way, just before I get into this, I am not affiliated with Upwork whatsoever. This video is just for educational purposes only. I believe I have to say that because one of my videos actually got taken down by Upwork. Well, they told me to take one of the videos down. I didn't really even breach any of their terms, I don't think. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on video, but anyway, I am not affiliated with Upwork at all. This video is just for educational purposes. I'm not sponsored by Upwork or anything like that. They didn't ask me to make this video. I just want to make this video because I've really used Upwork and it's been a really life-changing thing for me, and I want to relay it back to you guys. So long story short, guys, Upwork is a freelance account where you can go and create what you call a freelancer account, and you can apply to jobs that clients have posted out. And these you can actually type in the box all sorts of jobs you can go and apply to, such as like email marketing jobs, SEO jobs, web development jobs, helping start up businesses, Facebook ad jobs obviously, and then social media management jobs and that sort of stuff. I personally use Upwork for social media management, and that's basically all I do on Upwork, just apply to social media management jobs. Now if you want to compare and contrast these two, let's actually start talking about the pros and cons real quick, because I feel like if we get into this, we need to talk about the pros and cons. So I guess we'll talk about email real quick first. The pros with email is that you can easily get an email quite quickly, in terms of like go to google.com and get an email, set it up. The process of actually signing up is very, very quick. However, when you actually go and build like your actual email list, that is very, very long. That within itself, for example, if you go to prospect businesses, which is called lead sourcing and prospecting, and go and building a lead sheet, that is a very, very long and tedious process. By the way, if you see me looking over here, guys, I just got a couple of notes for you guys. So let's actually talk about the pros of cold email. So it's free or very, very cheap because your domain only costs you around $12 per year. So that's $1 per month. Then you have to pay for G Suite, which is like I think it's like $5 or $6. I think it's like $6 or something like that, which works out to be around £4 here. So you're looking to pay around $7 per month for your cold email. Obviously, if you have something like Lemlist, and obviously you have to pay for Lemlist, but if you're just using cold email by itself, which I don't really recommend because it's not going to be that fun, but if you're starting out from complete scratch, yes, you can go this route. Because obviously Upwork, you have to pay for connects, which I'll get into in a second. So with Upwork, you can actually niche down and be very specific with who you target. You can niche down into a particular niche. So for example, if you only want to target men's clothing brands like e-commerce businesses, and you want to find the owners of these businesses, you can do that and reach out to them directly. If you wanted to find an email Elon Musk right now, you could literally go and find Elon Musk's actual email address, and you can actually send them an email. You can do what I like to call headhunting. You can headhunt for the head honcho, if you will, the owner of the business. So, and what I've noticed whenever I've closed a client via email, the clients are typically higher ticket on average. The average kind of like client I'm closing right now in cold emails is $1,500 per month. That's like our very, very minimum that we'd actually charge. And these are obviously e-commerce businesses for Facebook ads. So I use cold emails for e-commerce businesses and selling Facebook ads. I use Upwork for social media management and just selling social media management to anybody and everybody. So on email, I'm very specific and very honed down and niche down. I only offer one service to one industry, which is the e-commerce industry. It doesn't really matter what sort of business in the e-commerce space. That's very specific stuff. One service to one industry. Whereas with Upwork, it's still one service, but I can't really niche down on Upwork. There's not really a way to do that. So I guess it's a con of Upwork. But Upwork is still so much more easier to actually get clients. And I'm offering social media management to all different types of industries, pest control businesses, gaming businesses, hair kind of like salon businesses, that sort of stuff. It is sort of like clients you'll find on there. Like I said, with cold emails, the clients are typically higher ticket. Now, let me talk about a couple of pros for Upwork. I've genuinely found Upwork to be the easiest, quickest, fastest, simplest, most luxurious and just blissful, least effortless, the most effortless way, shall I say, way of actually going and getting clients and scaling to 10K per month. I am not even joking. It's the easiest, simplest way I've ever found. And I think that's because there's a couple of reasons. Number one is there's no lead sourcing. You don't have to do lead sourcing. You don't have to go out and find leads and then prospect those leads and put them in a lead sheet and then go through their website and then go and do the guessing game. Because like, I'm pretty sure you guys all do this, where you go to when you're lead sourcing, you go to their website, you take a look at their Facebook ads, you go to see if they got a Facebook pixel on their page, you go and see how much employees they have. All of those are good indicators, but they're still guessing games. And here's what I mean. If we go and reach out to some, I don't know, local lead gen businesses, such as like real estate agents right now, what you would probably do is you would go to Google, which is what everybody does. They type in real estate agents near me or realtors near me, for example, or they'll go to like Zillow or something like that and find leads there. Then what they'll do is they'll go into that person's website, they'll check to see if they've got a Facebook pixel. That obviously, that little strategy there is to kind of like indicate whether or not they've got a digital marketing team. You look at their overall website within itself and see if it's a good kind of like website, to see if they take their digital marketing seriously. Again, these are all guessing games because we don't actually know if this business has not been negatively affected by the global thing that kind of went on, you know, what's kind of going on, still kind of dying out now. We don't know how badly they've been affected by that. I'm not going to say the word, of course, but we don't know how negatively they've been affected by that. So they could literally, this business could still have their website up on Google, for example. We've taken a look and prospected, and then we get them on a phone. By the way, just to even get up to that point, we'd have to go and find their email address, do all this lead sourcing stuff, see if they're a good fit. Then we get them on the phone. Then what we'd have to do is, you know, ask them where their business is at right now and where they want to go. They could literally just turn around and be like, yeah, we're just about to shut our business because we've been negatively affected. We're 2 weeks away from shutting down. They could literally even say, we've literally just shut down and completely, you know, closed the business because we went bankrupt. You wouldn't know that though, because their website's still on the internet. Obviously, businesses are kind of good at updating their websites and saying, you know, this business is now currently shut down, but that is still a case. And not even that, but a lot of gurus don't mention this. Even when you've gone through, let's say you find a 10 out of 10 business, you use all these criteria such as how many employees do they have, if they've got a Facebook pixel on their page, if they've got this thing on their page, if they've got good ads running, that sort of stuff. Whatever your criteria is, you could then, you know, for example, whatever your criteria is, and you obviously have this in your head right now, everybody's got their own criteria. Like me, I have different criteria from you, from what makes a perfect client, from what person makes a non-perfect client, a non-perfect client. Obviously, we're all different on what we, you know, because it's kind of subjective, if you will, to whoever's kind of like doing this. Anyway, guys, if you find, let's say we find a 10 out of 10 business and the stars are literally aligned for this business. They could be a perfect 10. They could have the money. They could be, you know, a business that really needs your digital marketing. However, they could literally still turn around on the phone and say to you, now's not a good time because we just had to invest in this particular thing, or we've just done this, or cash flow's tight right now. Even though we've got the money, it's just the cash flow's tight right now and we don't want to dip below a certain threshold. So that is what you call buying window. A lot of people forget that this is actually a real thing. You will run into buying windows. Even when you do happen to find a 10 out of 10 perfect business, you could get them on the phone and they'll literally say, yeah, now's not the great time. We're not in the right buying window. It's just not the right time. We're just taking on too many staff members right now and the cash flow is kind of tight. They could literally turn around and say there's 1,001 different reasons why they could say that, but the buying window is a real thing and a lot of people kind of miss over that. So with Upwork, that's all eliminated. We don't need to do any lead sourcing. We don't need to do any lead sheet building. We don't need to do any prospecting, and the leads that we're going to be finding on Upwork are warm. So when you log into Upwork, you just type in social media management, for example, you're literally going to find a whole bunch of jobs right in front of you, ready to go right there and then. And these leads are extremely warm. If you think about a traditional sales funnel, right? These leads have gone through this. First of all, if you think about a sales funnel, the steps of a sales funnel, you'll have like awareness at the top. Awareness is, you know, these are clients that are aware of social media and social media marketing. So what they've decided to do is they've started a business. They've become aware that social media is a thing and a viable tool for business. Then what they've done is they become interested in social media. So now they've gone around and Googled like how to really find like a social media manager for their business. Upwork's kind of popped up and it's recommended that they use their platform to find their freelancer and help you that can help you with their social media. Then what's happened is that interest has turned into desire. So now they're actually thinking, yeah, I am actually going to start doing that. I'm actually desiring to hire a social media manager. Now what they've done is after desire turns to action. Action is them actually going to Google, creating a client account and actually posting out a job. They've taken action on that. It all started from awareness. Then they got interested in it. Then they started actually desiring it. Then because that desire is so strong, it turned into action. And what they've done is actually posted a job on Upwork. This is what all clients have done. And every single lead you see on Upwork have gone through these sequential steps. Believe me, I know. I've been using Upwork for a long time. Again, I'm not affiliated with Upwork in any way, shape or form, but it's a great platform. So these people are at the action stage. Now action will then turn into evaluation, and then evaluation turns into purchase. So what we do is we interject at the evaluation stage where other people have applied to their job, which by the way, we can actually limit the amount of people using certain filters on Upwork to how many people have applied to that job, and we can apply to the same job and compete with like 10 other people, for example. So there's only 10 other people that we're competing against. Sounds like a lot, but most of the time you're actually going to easily outcompete them, especially if you have the right cover letter and the right profile. That's something I teach in my 4-week program, and actually in my up and coming course, there's only 10 spots available right now for my actual course because in the beta phase, I'm building that out. There's a Facebook group as well, so I'm getting 10 people in that at half price. You get a 50% off discount for the first 10 people that join the program. Again, all you have to do to book in that is literally just book in a call below using my calendar, and we'll actually jump on a call and see if you're a good fit for the program. The best thing about the program as well is because you're gonna get it half. First of all, you're gonna get it half price. That's already a benefit within itself. So you're gonna get the full 6 weeks of training. Then what you're going to do is you're actually going to help me build out the course as the perfect course that you want to see, if you will. So the course is gonna be absolutely perfect, suited to you guys and exactly what you specifically want to see inside of a course. And I feel like this is going to separate the course from every other course in the industry. Everybody just wanted to sit down and create a course and then sell it. I'm doing it the opposite way, where I'm literally getting people in the program first, and then I'm actually helping them and asking them questions such as, what sort of modules do you want to see next? What would really help you and really get you clients? What would you need to see? Then they're going to give me recommendations. I then create the training on that and show them exactly what they need to see. And it's a win-win situation for everybody because you get to see exactly what you want to see. And obviously I build the course. It's absolutely perfect for you guys.
Hey guys, Demir here, and I just quickly wanted to say a big thank you to Montel Gordon and his course Agency Transmutation. Now, a quick word on it. Basically, I've been in quite a few different courses. I've been in quite a few big gurus out there, big names, and I'm extremely grateful for all the systems and knowledge they've given me. But unfortunately, I've noticed in every course there's always something missing, a certain piece of the puzzle. And for the majority, for me, it's actually been outreach, because outreach is basically what signs you clients. If you're not consistently signing clients or booking meetings, you're not succeeding as a business owner. And unfortunately, in a lot of gurus courses, that's missed out on. But on that note, I've noticed that Montel goes real in depth on it. I mean, he's been in the trenches for so long. His systems are his outreach systems are just so completely different from what I've seen before. And again, it's been so helpful. Thank you so much. Appreciate it all. Cheers.
So anyway, guys, with Upwork, there is no lead sourcing or anything like that. There's no prospecting. These leads are warm. You interject them at the end of the funnel, like really at the end of the funnel, whether at the evaluation stage where you jump on a call with them and they've already maybe had a call with somebody else. And what you do there is you show that you're the best fit for them. They then make the purchase, which is coming with you. So we're actually interjecting ourselves at the very bottom of the funnel. And this is what you call intent-based outreach. Intent-based outreach is almost like, just imagine Facebook and Google ads for a second. I'm not saying that you should offer either of those or anything like that, but obviously they're very good services to offer. I'm not talking about that right now though. I'm just using them as metaphors. Facebook ads is a version of what you call interruptive marketing. Think about it. You go onto your Instagram page, you go onto your Facebook page, not to look at ads. You actually go to look at your friends, images, communicate with your family, chill out with your friends and just hang out online basically, is what you basically use Facebook and Instagram for. Then what's happening is ads are popping up to you based upon things that you've previously clicked on or sort of interest that you've shown basically online with your digital footprint, if you will, and that's interrupted your day. That's what you call an interruptive based advert right there. However, Google Ads works like this. Google Ads is like what you call intent based marketing. You go to Google and you type in men's hats. You then start getting advertisements at the top, like I think it's like 3 or 4 links, something like that. You guys have all seen it, and you'll see that there's ads there advertising men's hats. Now you have more intent to click on those ads because you're already searching yourself. You took it upon yourself to actually go to Google, open up a new tab, type in men's hats, and press enter. You are now, more likely to click those ads because you have that intent. And this is what Upwork's like. Upwork's like Google, where it's intent based. These are clients that have gone out of their own way to post a job out saying, I'm looking for a social media manager. I'm willing to pay this amount. I'm ready to hire right now. So there's no guessing game. There's no buying window. There's no lead sourcing. It's right there, right to the point. These are warm leads, the warmest you will ever find. Like literally the warmest you'll ever find. All you have to do is convince them that you're the right fit, and you will get clients every single freaking week if you really wanted to, if you really go hammer it. So that's what you call intent-based outreach. Upwork is intent-based outreach. Not to mention, the Upwork also, here's another pro for you. Upwork also has the ability to give you inbound leads where clients can actually invite you out of their own will to their job and actually invite you to what you call an interview. So this is a client that you've never heard of before. They posted a job and your account can pop up, for example, if you keyword it the right way and you have good stats and stuff like that. They will then be recommended your account. So when they create a job saying that they're looking for a social media manager, your account will pop up because you've got your keyword social media manager there. And if they invite you to the job, you actually just basically got an inbound lead coming to you, asking you for an interview to see if you're a good fit for their job. So now you are in the power position because you got invited to their job. So as you can see, there's inbound leads that you can actually get on Upwork. You can't do that with cold email. It doesn't really happen. Not only that, guys, but with cold email, here's a huge benefit right here. Cold emails have a very short half-life, as in, you'll send an email to somebody, they'll open it and completely, if they don't reply to it, they'll completely forget about it. Whereas with Upwork, the more clients you get, the better your account gets. The better your account gets, the more portfolio items you can put in your portfolio. The more portfolio items you get in your account, the more you're going to attract clients. The more you attract clients, the more clients you're going to get. The more clients you're going to get, the better results you're going to get. Then that's going to increase your job success score and your stats on your Upwork profile. And then it's just going to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And you're just going to get more and more clients. So it's like a positive feedback loop that stays on the internet, and it has what you call a long half-life. It literally lives on the internet and it doesn't really go anywhere unless you delete your account or something like that, or something bad happens to it where you get banned for violating the terms, which I don't recommend you do. So that's basically what you call a long half-life. Now let me talk about the actual cons. Now that I've talked about the pros of each, let's talk about the actual cons real quick. So cons with cold email, here's what I found. So cold emails are very slow. Here's what I mean by that. By the time I guarantee, if you want to race me, we can actually set up a call and we'll actually genuinely race. By the time you've actually gone and found 10 e-commerce brands, new ones by the way, without using any sort of like scraping software, if you go manually find 10 e-commerce brands that are good fits and you've qualified them, and you actually go and find the owner's email, by the time you've even done that, not even sent the email yet, by the time you've done that, I would have finished at least 15 outreach. I only really do 15 outreach. So I would have done my day's worth of outreach on Upwork, which takes me around 45 minutes. By the time you've even been able to find 10 leads, 10 good solid leads from scratch to email. By the way, you've not even emailed them yet. You just put them in a list. So by the time you found 10 e-commerce businesses, I've already done my entire outreach for the entire day. I'm out chilling and you're still doing your lead sourcing. So I can actually get like double the amount of work done with Upwork than I can with cold email in half the time, which is why I recommend you outsource it from the very beginning. Now, then that takes us on to the actual personalization. You have to personalize each email you ever send. I cannot recommend in good faith that you don't personalize. You need to make sure that you're personalizing your cold emails. And when I say personalizing, I'm not saying this is not personalization. Hey John, I came across your business on Google and seen that you was the CEO. That is not personalizing. Here's what I mean by personalization. You go like this. Hey John, love the interview you did with Sally Manson on Forbes magazine back in 2020. It was really amazing about the point you made about how sustainable your brand is and how you guys are planting 2 new trees for every purchase that you make. You guys are really making a huge difference. That would be a personalized first line, very specific and very tailored to them. Obviously that takes a lot of time. So having a first line writer is pretty much a must at this particular point. So with cold emails as well, guys, I've noticed that you get more negative responses. Now, negative responses are kind of stuff like, that you're not interested, that they say they're not interested, we're already working with a team, that sort of stuff. With Upwork, you don't really get that. You're not really interrupting somebody's day. They don't need to tell you to go away. They just don't respond to you if they don't like your proposal. So you don't really get any sort of like negative responses. With cold emails as well, you can come across as a bit salesy and interruptive, a bit bothersome, because you're obviously interrupting somebody's day and you sent them a random email. They don't know who you are. So you can actually come across a salesy. So I still, by the way, use both cold emails and Upwork. I just know that Upwork is where I'm getting most of my clients from. I'm then taking that money from Upwork and actually implementing, cold emails, and I'm automating my cold emails. If you're gonna do cold emails, I really want you to kind of like automate them, if I'm being honest with you. Unless you're completely broke, like with $0, then you're gonna have to use something like cold email, because you can't afford Connects, which is what I'm gonna be jumping into in a second. Now, with cold emails, there's a way longer learning cycle, if you will, a learning period, a learning curve. That's the word I'm looking for. There's a much bigger learning curve. You have to test literally every single line one by one. First of all, you need to test your subject line. Second of all, you want to make sure that actual first thing you need to do is make sure that you've got a good domain. That's obviously doesn't sound like spam. You want to make sure it looks professional. Then what you have to do is make sure that you have your records set up, like your MX records, obviously, so you can actually send emails. Then you want to make sure that you've got your SPF records set up, your DKIM records set up, and your DMARC records set up, so that your deliverability is at its max. And that obviously takes a little bit of tinkering here and there behind the scenes in the DNS settings of your actual email and your provider of your email, which is, if it's you guys, I recommend using G Suite. So obviously that's a little bit of tinkering around. Then what you want to make sure you do is that you have good subject lines. You need to make sure that your open rate is good. Not only that, but you then need to start testing. There's so much more variables that go into this, that you need to start testing subject lines. You need to even start testing first lines, because your first line is going to show up in the snippet of an email. So you need to make sure that is good as well, because that can actually have an effect on your open rate as well. Because like when you get an email, you can see the snippet, you're going to make sure that that's solid as well. Then you want to make sure that you're testing each line individually, like your angle, your case study, your call to action. Those all need to be on point. It all needs to be short and concise. There's so much more testing that has to go into this, and I'm telling you, by the time you're out of let's say it takes you 3 months to actually master email, that would actually be short, by the way. That would actually be short. I reckon it's going to take you around about 5 or 6 months to actually master email, if I'm being honest with you. You can set meetings really quick with email if you know what you're doing, but if you don't know what you're doing, believe me, you might even be doing cold emails for 7, 8, 9 months, something like that, before you even see a single meeting. I've literally had clients, or should I say students, come into my program where they've gone through all of the Guru's courses, and they've literally said to me, I went from getting one meeting every 3 months, to joining your program, and I'm using Upwork, and I've literally had 7 meetings this particular month. That, by the way, that student actually went on to close 3 clients in 1 week. I'll throw the screenshot up somewhere on the screen real quick. And as you can see, she's using actual Upwork to do this, and she's getting some really awesome results with that. Like 3 clients in a week, adding 2.8k euros to her bottom line. That's absolutely amazing. So with Upwork as well, if you're not careful, you'll get marked as spam, and that can actually ruin your email. You can get blacklisted, especially if your emails are not personalized. You can just literally get blacklisted. And guys, the last question I want to ask you guys, and kind of like last con for you to think about, is like, when was the last time you personally bought something from somebody who you've never known before, who's just cold emailed you? When was the last time you bought something from a cold email? See what I'm trying to say, guys? It's kind of crazy. So here are some of the cons I found for Upwork, using this. Connects obviously cost money, so you actually have to put real money into Connects so that you can apply to jobs, but they're not too expensive. And to be honest with you guys, whenever you get a client, if you close them on a 3-month minimum, which is what I recommend you do, that one client's pretty much gonna pay for your entire year's worth of Upwork Connects. I'm actually not even joking. So closing clients on Upwork as well, if you close clients on Upwork, what's gonna happen is you're going to lose 20% of that fee if you're brand new. So if you've made I think it's like less than 10k on the account, on your Upwork account, you have to pay 20% to Upwork for using their platform, and you have to spend money on Connects. You have to spend money on Connects, then you have to give Upwork. So obviously, guys, that's a huge L. Taking 20%, that's literally like what corporate tax is over here in the UK. It's like 19% corporate tax. But so yeah, as you can see, that's a massive L there. But you just have to get over it. Believe me, it will be worth it in the long run. Then with Upwork, guys, as well, if you take clients on Upwork, you have to deliver the work first before you actually get paid. So here's what you can do to rectify this one. Instead of setting your milestones for like $1,000 for the month, what you can do is break it down into weekly milestones. So 250 each week, and then just do 1 week of work, then get paid. Do another week of work, get paid. Another week of work. So basically just take the monthly retainer, divide it by 4, and then set the deadline each week after each other. So that's what you call a weekly milestone. Instead of doing monthly milestones, do weekly milestones, so you get paid much quicker on a weekly basis. So with Upwork as well, this is not really a con, but I just wanted to kind of put this out there. With Upwork, if you don't get a response back, so when you apply to a job, you obviously send over your proposal, which includes your cover letter. If somebody doesn't reply to that, if a client doesn't reply to that, there's no real way you can follow up with them because there's no actual chat thread yet that gets created. So it's kind of weird to explain, but like if they don't reply to you, there's no messages section where you can go back and reply to them. Whereas with cold email, if you email Elon Musk, for example, and you don't get a response, you could literally send him 2 emails a day for the next 7 years straight if you really wanted to, just by going back to his inbox and just resending it. You're probably going to get blocked by like his personal assistant, and if you do get a response, it for sure will be by his like personal assistant, of course. But you get the point I'm trying to make. There's at least somewhere for you to go back. You can go back into your inbox, go and find where your sent messages section, go onto that, and then you can actually then send that person a follow-up. With Upwork, you have to wait for them to respond back to you first, and then a chat thread gets created between you and that person, what you call a chat room. A chat room gets created or chat thread, if you will, gets created between you and that person, and then you can follow up as many times as you want. So what you have to do is elicit a response. You need to solicit a response in order to get the ability to open that chat thread. And when you open that chat thread, you can send as many Upwork messages to them as you possibly want. So guys, those are the pros and cons of email and Upwork as well. I personally am way swaying towards Upwork. Again, like I said, if I was to go broke, having to start again, the first thing I would do is create an Upwork account, create an Acuity scheduling account, and literally just go ham applying to jobs on Upwork. Then what I would do is build that up by stacking up smaller ticket clients, like $500, $600, $700, grabbing a whole bunch of those really quickly, because you can do that at low ticket, with low ticket sales. Then what I would do is I'd take that money and put it all into like doing outreach via cold emails. Or if I just built really quickly, just got to 10K using Upwork, I'd probably just take that money and put it into Facebook ads and kind of like eliminate the whole cold email thing altogether. However, that said though, guys, Upwork and using them cold emails has been an amazing strategy for me, guys. Most of my clients are still coming from Upwork though. Cold emails is much slower, much more of a slower churn rate. You have to send more emails as well to even get similar response rates to Upwork. So you have to send around double or even triple to get the same amount of calls booked with Upwork. So I send, for example, like 15 Upwork proposals a day. Sometimes I send like 50 emails a day, and I'm still telling you Upwork is outperforming cold emails, just because the response rates are better, the leads are warmer. But guys, with that being said, that is my verdict on cold emails versus Upwork. Overall, I do prefer Upwork, if I'm being honest with you, but cold emails is working as well. It genuinely does work when you know what you're doing. And obviously I know what I'm doing at this particular point because I've had a lot of testing going in, because I've got first line writers and lead sources to do that for me. And what's been able to afford my lead sources and first line writers is using smaller ticket clients on Upwork, taking that money and investing into lead sources and first line writers. That being said, guys, if you need help with this, I do have a 6-week training program on all of this. Right now it's in beta stage. At the time of recording this, there are 10 spots available for the beta stage. If you get in early, what I'm going to do is grant you access to it for 50% off. I'm going to be selling this course for $997 US, and it's actually going to be 50% off for the first 10 people that get into this. Not only that, but the first 10 people that get into this are going to get early access. Then they're going to actually help me build out the course together. So guys, as I was saying, the first 10 people to actually get access to this particular program is going to get beta access, where they can actually help me build out the course as well, to give me the ideal course on what you guys genuinely want to be taught in SMMA. There's no point me creating a whole 6-week training program then to just release it and then it completely bomb because people are learning stuff that they don't want to learn. Even though I do have a very good handle on what people do want to learn, because I have a lot of students coming to me and telling me that like they've taken so-and-so's course and it's just not worked. They want to see this thing instead, and like the gurus kind of leave out the lead sourcing stuff and they really skip over the onboarding and they really skip over doing the actual outreach. They just tell you to send an email, they give you a generic script, that sort of stuff. My course is going to rectify all of that and show you exactly how you go about writing first lines, how to go about lead sourcing at scale, all of that basically in extreme depth. So guys, if you're interested in becoming one of the first 10 people in my actual brand new up and coming social media marketing agency course that takes you from 0 to 10K per month within 6 months or less, please make sure that you actually book below. I'm going to leave my calendar link. All you have to do is book in, we'll jump on a call, see if you're a right fit for the program. I want to see why you want to be a beta kind of a tester in my particular program, and see if you can actually genuinely come up with some good ideas as well. Because I genuinely want to have people in there that are going to help me build out the best course possible so that I can literally blow all the competition out of the water once and for all. I am the guru killer, as they keep saying. It's actually so funny because it started off as a joke. All of my students literally say I put it on my website as well. I don't really have a website, but I'm kind of building it out right now. And it literally says on my website, I'm the dude you come to after you've taken all the guru's courses and you still haven't got a client. So I'm literally that dude. I don't want to make it sound egotistical, but I literally put it as a joke. But then I realized that pretty much every single, like 90 or 80 to 90% of my students have said the same thing. They've gone through so-and-so's course and it's not worked. So then they come to me and I help them get clients. It's really crazy. So I'm packaging all of that teaching up into a video course. Obviously my time's getting very scarce now, and I'm gonna help you guys at mass scale. We're gonna overcome these damn gurus, guys, and scale your businesses to the moon. Anyway, guys, I'll leave it at that. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the actual program as well. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video as well. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.